The South China Sea, a vast expanse of water spanning over 1.4 million square miles, is a region of immense strategic and economic significance. Its waters teem with marine life, supporting the livelihoods of millions. Welcome to Cryptic Mystic Vault, where we unravel the secrets of ancient mysteries. Beneath the surface lie potentially vast reserves of oil and natural gas. But these riches are overshadowed by a long-standing and increasingly volatile dispute over sovereignty and control. This strategically vital sea serves as a crucial waterway for global trade. Roughly one-third of all international maritime trade traverses its shipping lanes, carrying trillions of dollars worth of goods. For centuries, the South China Sea has connected east and west, facilitating cultural exchange and economic development. However, the South China Sea is also a region beset by tension and mistrust. 6 countries, China, Vietnam, the Philippines, Malaysia, Brunei, and Taiwan, lay claim to parts or all of this maritime area. These overlapping claims, rooted in history, nationalism, and resource competition, have turned the South China Sea into a potential flashpoint for conflict. The heart of the dispute lies in the control of strategically important islands, reefs, and shoals scattered across the sea. These features, often little more than submerged rocks or small sandbars, have become the focus of intense competition, with countries vying for their possession as a means of asserting their claims to the surrounding waters and resources. At the heart of the South China Sea dispute lie a series of island chains and submerged features, each representing a potential flashpoint in the region's volatile geopolitical landscape. These features, though often small and seemingly insignificant, have become central to the power dynamics in the area. These disputed territories, often little more than barren outcrops or submerged reefs, have taken on outsized importance due to their strategic location and the potential resources they may hold. The waters surrounding these features are believed to be rich in oil and natural gas, making them highly coveted. The Paracel Islands, located east of Vietnam and south of China's Hainan Island, are claimed in their entirety by China, Vietnam, and Taiwan. This archipelago has been a point of contention for decades, with each nation asserting historical and legal rights over the islands. Currently under Chinese control since a brief but decisive naval conflict with Vietnam in 1974, the Paracels are home to Chinese military installations and serve as a base for projecting power in the region. The presence of these installations underscores China's commitment to maintaining its claims. Further south lie the Spratly Islands, an archipelago of over 750 reefs, islets, atolls, and cays. This group of islands is even more fragmented and contested than the Paracels, with multiple nations laying claim to various parts. Claimed in part or in whole by China, Vietnam, the Philippines, Malaysia, and Taiwan, the Spratlys are a focal point of tension. The overlapping claims have led to numerous diplomatic and military standoffs, with each nation seeking to assert its dominance. China's extensive land reclamation efforts, transforming submerged reefs into artificial islands capable of hosting military infrastructure, have raised alarm bells among its neighbors and the international community. These artificial islands are equipped with runways, ports, and other facilities, enhancing China's strategic reach. Scarborough Shoal, a triangle-shaped reef located west of the Philippines' Luzon Island, is another flashpoint. This area has been a source of friction between China and the Philippines for years. China seized control of Scarborough Shoal in 2012 following a standoff with the Philippines. This event marked a significant escalation in the territorial disputes in the South China Sea. While lacking the landmass for significant construction, Scarborough Shoal holds strategic value due to its proximity to vital shipping lanes and potential for resource exploration. Control of this area allows for monitoring and influence over one of the world's busiest maritime routes. These disputed islands and reefs are not merely abstract points on a map. They are critical to the national interests of the claimant countries. They represent tangible symbols of sovereignty and control, with each claimant nation viewing their possession as essential to securing their maritime interests and regional influence. The stakes are high, and the potential for conflict remains ever present. The militarization of these features, coupled with overlapping claims and historical grievances, has created a tinderbox environment where even a minor incident could spark a larger conflict. The international community watches closely, aware that the South China Sea remains one of the most volatile regions in the world. The South China Sea holds immense strategic importance, impacting global trade, regional security, and the balance of power in the Indo-Pacific. This vast expanse of water, stretching over 3.5 million square kilometers, is a critical juncture for international maritime activities. Its significance stems from a confluence of factors, including its role as a vital maritime route, its potential energy reserves, and its strategic location at the crossroads of major powers. The South China Sea is not just a regional concern but a global one, influencing economic and security policies worldwide. Firstly, the South China Sea serves as a maritime superhighway, a conduit for approximately 1/3 of global maritime trade. This makes it one of the busiest and most crucial waterways in the world, essential for the smooth flow of international commerce. Every year, trillions of dollars worth of goods, including oil, natural gas, manufactured products, and raw materials, pass through its shipping lanes. The uninterrupted movement of these goods is vital for the economies of many nations, both within and outside the region. Disruptions to this vital artery of commerce, whether due to conflict, piracy, or political instability, would have far-reaching consequences for the global economy. Such disruptions could lead to increased shipping costs, delays, and even shortages of essential goods. Secondly, the South China Sea is believed to hold vast reserves of oil and natural gas, potentially exceeding those of some OPEC nations. These resources are crucial for the energy security of the surrounding countries, which are heavily dependent on energy imports. While estimates vary, these untapped resources represent a significant economic prize for the claimant nations, fueling competition and raising the stakes in the territorial disputes. The potential wealth beneath the sea has led to a complex web of claims and counterclaims. Control over these energy resources would not only enhance a nation's energy security, but also provide a strategic advantage in the region. Nations with access to these resources could leverage them for economic and political gains. Thirdly, the South China Sea's strategic location, at the intersection of Southeast Asia, East Asia, and the Indian Ocean, amplifies its importance. This positioning makes it a focal point for regional and global strategic interests. Major powers, including the United States, China, Japan, and India, all have vital interests in the region. Their involvement adds layers of complexity to the geopolitical landscape, with each nation seeking to protect its own strategic interests. The presence of key shipping lanes, strategic choke points like the Malacca Strait, and potential military bases in the South China Sea makes it a crucial theater for power projection and strategic competition. Control over these choke points can influence global trade and military movements. In essence, the South China Sea is more than just a body of water. It is a dynamic and multifaceted region with far-reaching implications for global stability and prosperity. It is a vital artery of global trade, a potential energy powerhouse, and a strategic chessboard where regional and global powers vie for influence. The interplay of these factors makes the South China Sea a region of paramount importance. The stakes in the South China Sea are high, with implications for global economic stability, regional security, and the future balance of power in the Indo-Pacific region. The decisions made here will resonate across the world, shaping the geopolitical landscape for years to come. The South China Sea dispute is a complex web of overlapping claims, historical grievances, and national aspirations involving 6 primary claimants: China, Vietnam, the Philippines, Malaysia, Brunei, and Taiwan. This region, rich in natural resources and strategic maritime routes, has become a focal point of international attention and tension. Each nation brings its own historical narrative, legal interpretations, and strategic calculations to the table, making a peaceful resolution elusive. The intricate tapestry of claims and counterclaims is woven with threads of national pride and historical context. China, the most assertive claimant, asserts sovereignty over nearly the entire South China Sea based on its historical 9-dash line. This line, drawn in the mid-20th century, encompasses vast swaths of the sea, overlapping with the claims of other nations. Beijing views the South China Sea as its maritime backyard, essential for its economic security and regional ambitions. The sea lanes are crucial for China's trade and energy supplies, making control over this area a strategic imperative. China's growing military presence in the region, including the construction of artificial islands and military installations, has fueled tensions with its neighbors and raised concerns about its long-term intentions. These actions are seen as a bid to assert dominance and control over the disputed waters. Vietnam, with a history of maritime activity in the South China Sea dating back centuries, strongly contests China's expansive claims. The Vietnamese people have long relied on these waters for their livelihood, making the dispute deeply personal and nationalistic. Hanoi bases its claims on historical usage and control over the Paracel and Spratly Islands, citing historical records and traditional fishing grounds as evidence. These islands are not just strategic points but also symbols of national heritage and sovereignty. Vietnam views China's actions as a direct threat to its sovereignty and economic interests. The encroachment on their traditional fishing grounds and potential oil and gas reserves is seen as an existential threat. The Philippines, geographically closest to the Spratly Islands, bases its claims on proximity and the 2016 ruling by the Permanent Court of Arbitration, which invalidated China's 9-dash line. This ruling was a significant legal victory for Manila, though enforcement remains a challenge. Manila argues that China's actions violate international law and threaten the Philippines' maritime entitlements. The legal battle has galvanized public opinion in the Philippines, leading to widespread protests and calls for stronger government action. Malaysia and Brunei, while less vocal than other claimants, maintain their respective claims to parts of the South China Sea, primarily based on the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, unclos. Their claims are more focused on economic zones rather than expansive territorial control. Both countries seek to protect their maritime resources and assert their sovereign rights within their exclusive economic zones, EEZs. The rich fishing grounds and potential underwater oil and gas reserves are vital for their economies. Taiwan, considered by China as a breakaway province, also claims the entirety of the South China Sea, mirroring Beijing's 9-dash line. Despite its limited international recognition, Taiwan's strategic position and claims add another layer of complexity to the dispute. However, Taiwan's position in the dispute is complicated by its unique political status and its limited international recognition. This isolation affects its ability to assert its claims on the global stage. The South China Sea dispute is not merely a legalistic debate over maritime boundaries, it is a multifaceted issue involving national pride, historical grievances, and strategic interests. It is a reflection of deeper geopolitical currents, historical animosities, and national pride. The region's history is marked by conflicts and cooperation, shaping the current dynamics. The competing claims and the lack of a clear path towards resolution make the South China Sea a potential flashpoint for conflict with implications for regional stability and international security. The world watches closely, aware that any escalation could have far-reaching consequences. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more mind-blowing discoveries and thrilling adventures into the past. Imagine a world where the outcome of the South China Sea dispute had taken a different turn. In this alternate reality, the geopolitical landscape of Southeast Asia would be drastically altered. What if China had successfully solidified its dominance over the South China Sea? The region would see a shift towards increased economic dependencies on Beijing. Trade routes might be rerouted to favor Chinese interests, leading to a significant realignment of global commerce. The countries of Southeast Asia, now under a more assertive Chinese influence, could experience both economic boons and political pressures, shaping their domestic and foreign policies in unprecedented ways. On the other hand, envision a scenario where a stronger U.S. presence had deterred aggressive actions and bolstered alliances within the region. This could have fostered a more balanced power dynamic, with Southeast Asian nations enjoying greater autonomy and security. U.S. naval and air patrols might have become a common sight, reinforcing international norms and ensuring freedom of navigation. The ripple effects of this would extend beyond Southeast Asia, influencing global military strategies and alliances. In this alternate reality, the implications for global trade would be profound. A dominant China or a more engaged U.S. would reshape supply chains, investment flows, and economic partnerships. The balance of power in international relations would shift, potentially leading to new alliances and rivalries. While this is a speculative exercise, it underscores the importance of the South China Sea in shaping our world. The decisions made today will echo through history, influencing the future of nations and the global order. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more mind-blowing discoveries and thrilling adventures into the past.